Hey, what's up, everyone? This is BMT coming at you with some heartbreaking news. I'm trying to. I highly look up to this person. They are one of my favorite actors, entrepreneurs. This is Regina King, and my heart goes out to her and her family. My heart really goes out to this woman right now. I can only imagine the pain that she's facing right now. I don't I don't wish this upon nobody. I don't at all. And right now she's really feeling it right now. Of course, this might not be the latest talk because it's not crazy. It's not anger. It's not no maliciousness. But this is a state of address. Mrs. Regina King's son has passed away, and it's very interesting that I would think that more men and people would want to care to actually look into this. But it's all right. I got you. What's up, everyone in the chat? Let me cover this for y'all. This is Regina King. If y'all don't know who she is, and that's her son. He wasn't a bad man. He wasn't into foolishness. He wasn't hurting nobody. He was a young man. Regina King's son, Ian Alexander Jr., had died by suicide. People confirm he was 26 years old. He died. He killed himself on Wednesday. Our family is devastated at the deepest level by the loss of Ian, King says in a statement sent to people. He is such a bright light who cares so deeply about the happiness of others. Our family asks for respectful consideration during this private time. Thank you. He was King's only child. That was her only child, whom she shared with her ex husband, record producer Ian Alexander Sr. Following in his father's musical footsteps, Ian was a DJ. King previously told people that he was an amazing young man. Despite her growing success as an actor and director, King said at the time that Ian was her biggest source of pride. So it wasn't her being an actor, it wasn't her being a director, it wasn't all the fame and fortune and everything. Her biggest source of pride was her child. That was her sense of pride. After separating from Ian's father in 2007, after 9 years of marriage, King admitted being a single parent wasn't always easy. But that's nothing, that's nothing, but there is nothing. But that nothing is stronger than her love for her son. Excuse me. This is truly sad, y'all. You don't know the unconditional love. You don't know what unconditional love is. You may say you do, but if you don't have a child, you don't know what that is. She explained at the time when you experience it, it's the most fulfilling thing ever. My heart really goes out to this woman. I'm pretty sure she didn't even really want to even do this. Nobody ever wants to admit the passing of their child. Nobody wants to admit the passing of their child. Nobody ever wants to. Nobody, no mother or father wants to bury their child before they rather be the opposite. I know I would have. It is a pain and a grieving, agonizing, sufferable pain. And I'm hoping and praying the best for her. Now, for some of y'all who don't believe in praying and all that stuff, keep y'all comments to yourself, man. Believe in what you believe in. Go by whatever you go by. But this man's life is gone. This man's life is gone. In honor of his mom's 50th birthday last year, Ian paid tribute to the multi hyphenate on Instagram, writing "Happy birthday to my co. So extremely proud of you, inspired by your love, artistry, and gangster. To be able to watch you take this lifetime by the neck and make it yours is something I will forever be grateful." This man had two successful parents. This man had it all at the whims. I always hear people always say, when you get money, when you get to a certain level, your problems go away. That man, we don't know what he was battling. We don't know what demons this man was dealing with. His family wasn't a nobody family. They were somebody. I just wish somebody could have gotten to him sooner. I lost many good friends, family to suicide. And you always play the what if I could have just been there. I'm sorry, y'all. Because you always want to say, if I could have been there, talk to them or saw the clues. What up, cool? Yeah, it was suicide. And it blows my mind that more men aren't talking about this. More brothers in this space, as much as we hear people like talking about the mental instability of the family. This man had a family, yet he still broke down. Why is this not a thing that we hear people talk about? Was it money? Was he didn't have access? This was this was not no. What caused him to crack? Some people are truly fighting demons, myself included. I've been there. Had the vehicle, the cars, certain access, and I still was pushed to the edge. A lot of children in the home, not in a broken home, but in a home, have been or have done what Ian has done. And sometimes the parents was like, I thought I did everything correctly. Take them to church, talk to them, work with them. What did I miss? And see, that's something that we're not purposely attacking as we should. What is it that what is it that y'all think that we should be addressing? This woman has done movies, film, TV show. I believe that something spiritually had happened to that man. You don't have to be, but something happened to him. This is why sometimes I have to ground myself. I have to push certain energy away from me. I can't. Y'all gotta understand, man. Everybody can't be. Everybody can say they're for you. Everybody can say that they want to be in your circle, but everybody don't need to be have latch onto your energy. Everybody don't need to have access to you. I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Everybody don't need access to you, man. It gets draining. It gets very tiring. See, I know this ain't the popular conversation because this is not the conversation that people want to talk about with men or women who are spiritually and mentally broken in the home. The violence easily covers up the pain. The striking, the money, the fame, the fortune, the women, the men, the sex, the drugs. A lot of stuff covers up what a lot of these men and women are going through. Y'all gotta understand, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. A lot of young men and women are battling for their soul. I too included, man. I've been there. I've sat in the car and cried. I've had times where I just say, yo, man, I just don't feel like going. And I ain't talking about like going to work. Just going on. Some people hit. I take people very serious when they say that they feel like they're about to crack. How you doing, man? I'm making it. It's just like your vehicle. Your vehicle is just barely making it to the destination. And it could break down. We have this notion of a mindset that we think that just because somebody has money, they have fame, notoriety, that they're not in a certain neighborhood or disposition, that everything's going to work out, that they won't have no problem. And I'm pretty sure she had the same discussion. She's like, where did I misstep? What did I do wrong? Did I not love him enough? Same thing for the father. But you never saw either parent in any kind of crazy foolishness. If anything, you always saw her up there on shows and TV shows, smiling, getting praise and all kind of stuff, getting awards and stuff. Never heard about anything with Miss King, anything foolish. This is what I'm saying, man. Like when we be trying to ask people, like, yo, man, like when we ask people, like, what happened to get you here? We're not talking about feminism. We're not talking about, the divestment of the man. We're not talking about any of the. I want a lot of y'all to really think, man, because some of y'all ain't too far from where the young brother Ian is at. Some of y'all not in that, y'all not there yet, but y'all not too far from a step crossing that line. Some of y'all need help, but y'all take it as a slight, as if I'm just smack you. No. If you're struggling picking up a burning pot and I'm seeing you hurting yourself, hey, do you need help? I got it. No, stop, man. Let me help you. See, this ain't big news, but it's a young brother dying. And I know some people gonna say, well, what did he have to complain about? Maybe his father was like, well, first of all, he was in the same line of footstep as his father. He was a DJ in the music industry. And we're not going to pretend like people in the industry aren't taking their lives. We don't watch a lot of people in the music industry have mental and psychological breakdowns. And everybody likes to watch people crash and burn. But how many people actually like to go up to them and say, hey, stop. Come on, we're going to take you to go get help. Clowning on Taraji P. Y'all was no, it weren't. Yes, they were. People were clowning on Taraji P when she said on an open podcast, I thought about killing myself. They're like, what? But Taraji P said that, yeah. She said, yeah, I know y'all think I got this money and all this stuff. Listen, plenty of times I thought about taking myself out. But see, we have this mindset, if we get to a certain level of success, a certain level of power, all things go good here. What's going on? What's going on? That dog stray. Money don't fix your problem, bro. They can only they did some. I know some of y'all can say, "Well, yes, they do." If that was the case, you wouldn't be seeing so many people with money doing so much dangerous and volatile behavioral stuff. You want to see them actually going in bathrooms and stuff, jumping off buildings, shooting themselves, doing drugs and harm to themselves. You wouldn't see some of these children that are growing up in a good home doing such volatile behavior. But everybody wants to fight these type of people off until it's too late. I told y'all, man. We here now. It's all fun and games until it's one of yours. I remember one of my battle buddies had a good job, had a good life, had a good family. He said, Joe, he started crying. He called me late at night. He started crying. And I was like, what's wrong? Bro, what are you crying for, man? I just saw your new Ford F-150. It looks nice. He said, F that truck, man. I don't want to live no more. I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. And I was like, stop it, man. Like, chill out. And it's on my heart to this day because I wish I would have stayed on the phone with him. He said, I'm ready to go, Joe. I'm sleepy. I'm going to turn in. I said, all right, bro. I'm going to call you in the morning. His family called me. There was so much screaming and mashing and moaning. He took his life. This was a man that had all at his fingertips, but he didn't have his mind. But we have this mindset as people that we think that because certain people have a certain kind of thing, you gotta understand, like this young man had everything. He wasn't no bad young man. He wasn't a bad kid. I just wish that somebody would have held him. I agree, Stray Dog. I've dealt with depression. I dealt with pain. I've had thoughts. I'm lucky I got help. I'm lucky I had a good team of people around me. Now, see, that's the thing about it. Like, you're talking about culture. Culture don't matter if your mind ain't there. Family don't matter if one of the family members' minds is broken. All these things y'all talk about ain't no good if the person or the individual is broken. You're talking about taking a broken piece and trying to put it in a functioning cog of a condition. It doesn't work. Everybody likes to talk about stoic daddy, but nobody likes to talk about daddy going outside and drinking and having breakdowns. Everybody likes to talk about how great granny was, but nobody likes to talk about granny sitting there in her bedroom crying, praying, saying, when will it end? Nobody likes to talk about the family brother or the black sheep that literally said, well, everything was good, but that one guy, because nobody wanted to sit down with that broken child and actually find out what's going on. We like to play these games. In this imaginary fictional story, everything was good. Doesn't get easy, man. And I've been there. I know what it's like too well. I do. It sucks. Sucks a lot. So are we gonna start addressing this? Are we gonna start trying to catch this? Or are we gonna keep trying to pretend that this ain't happening? We can all keep on hoping that these problems magically go away, that these people just shut up. This is why you're seeing what's happening in the world, because people are tired of being just jumped over until they mentally crack. Remember in the military, we used to always say, suck it up and drive on. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. See, you can suck it up as much you can suck it up as much as you want. You can suck it up and hold it in. But sooner or later, it has to come out. It has to come out. You can keep on saying, why just go on? You can keep on saying, it's not my problem. But guess what? Now, we can't ignore these mental health issues happening. Now, the mental health people they're starting to get louder and louder. At some point, we can't keep on ignoring these men and women and children that are holding it in. We always just look at one aspect, but we don't like to look at the inner layer. When the last time y'all sat down on the couch with a loved one and said, hey man, talk to me? Let me hit this one. Didn't you just make a stream talking about being emotional and complaining? Now you're worried when someone takes their lives. The dudes crying on here got mental illness. Okay, so let's click at that. I'm gonna show you. Getting on YouTube. Let me make sure I hold the brother here. Getting on YouTube, right? Calling other men and women and children bastards, animals, all kind of names. Attacking people. Okay? Okay. There's a difference between what's happening on panels. There's a difference of what we're watching. Okay? There's a difference of we're seeing people purposely attack people. Okay? Me going to somebody saying, Grinder, can I talk to you? There's some stuff that's been weighing on my heart. That's not complaining. That's me reaching out. See, that's the thing about it when it comes to, and it's not you, brother. Not you. I thank you for throwing that out there. But yeah, I did bring it up. I'm not going to get on YouTube and complain about the scheme of dating in the world. That's not mental illness. I'm not going to get on YouTube and say, I feel like these kind of men are like, that's not mental illness. Mental illness is I'm going through a specific type of ailment, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, okay? PTSD, postpartum depression, bipolar, social anxiety, trauma bonding. Those are things, right? If someone is attacking people, then yeah, that's different. Okay, so make sure you're keeping up with me, okay? When somebody's doing that, that's not. Now, again, granted, we have said that on these panels. Some of y'all need to go find a balance system to bring y'all back in. Getting on and saying angry ABWs, they're the bane of the community. How is that mental health? Or all these men out here are a bunch of pookies. Wait, that's not mental health. That means you just got some vitriol that you need to work out. But if somebody says, and we've seen streams where men and women have got on and have breakdowns. And you say, I don't know if I can make it. Energy, brother, if you had an issue, man, dementias, thank you. That's a lot of people have dementia. There's some people that have dementia and those are problems. This young man right here, he had his family, he had his mother, he had a lot of people in his corner. We don't know the whole aspect of things that he dealt with. Now, to be fair, we can pull out. Let me see if I can grab it. Everybody like making memes on this family. This family has money, power, and influence. And every last one of them has a mental health. See, you know what I know? And I might need to talk about this. I notice we like to watch people. Will Smith is such a whip ass simp. But then we find out that he has problems, but he used to watch his mama get beat and stomped in. To the day where his mama left him, abandoned him, and left him with his abusive father. So he, rather than be a daddy to his family, he overlooked their issues. Now look how his children, mental health problem, she does cuts. She was crying for a whole month, and now she seeks out outlet attention. This one right here does disassociates himself from the family. They all, I mean, mind you, that's a wealthy, that is a $500 million family. So we can keep on pulling out. If we were to keep on pulling out all these successful families, and we don't even have to talk about the rich families. We just know that, yo, there's a lot of mental health issues going on out there, bro. Money's not the answer to fixing mental health, bro. The dating market is not going to fix mental health. Sexual access ain't going to fix mental health. You can have sexual access and still be a demon. Until we start addressing and getting the certain stuff handled, because me telling y'all, hey man, y'all need to go get squared away. Oh yeah, Kanye West. Oh, we all know that brother. He needs help. Everybody likes to laugh at Kanye, one of the most successful men in the world. But everybody forgets Kanye. We watch him mentally break. We watch Kanye mentally crack the minute his mother died. Now his daddy is back in his life trying to help keep him grounded. But he's also dealing with a divorce. And the last thing that now we watching him have another mental breakdown because Kanye has attachment issues. So when they started threatening to take away his kids, Kanye began to freak out. His first daughter, he was watching her get pulled away from him. So why wouldn't Kanye have a mental breakdown? Why would he not start lashing out? To everybody else, oh my God, why is he acting like that? Because Kanye, he got triggered the minute he found out that I won't be able to see my child. My child. That triggered him. I won't be able to see my mama. Now another woman in my life is being y'all see, y'all don't see, some people take triggers that set people off for granted. Whether it was abuse, sexually, physically, mentally, spiritually, different things can be and I'm not gonna lie, man. I've sat on panels and listened to people talk. You hear me? I've listened to people talk. And while other people are like, yeah, and praise and push these people to that threshold, I'm like, y'all need to stop. Get that man or woman some help. What they're talking about, You're not actually catching the miss. The miss. Y'all missing what they're talking about. I watch a woman get on my panel high on coke and cry because she said, "I just want to make my mama proud." Now everybody else wanted to be with that woman, but nobody wanted to help that woman get healed. I watch a man complain that everybody judges him about being a bad father. But I said, you know what, y'all really want to help that instead of doing that, instead of giving that guy a way out of just being angry, why not sit and talk with that brother and actually help him get some legal help and some therapy? I agree, Mike. I could drop the link. Yeah, it's going to be a discussion real quick. But I'm saying, like, listen, y'all. If y'all think BMT, I attack y'all because y'all got mental. I don't attack y'all for mental health. I agree. I agree. I don't feel like there's a difference between. That's why I never had sympathy to those on YouTube blaming the opposite sex. I witnessed both torment those with mental disorders. I agree. There's nothing funny about that, man. And I've seen that happen a lot. I find it very interesting, and this is just at my diaspora of my ethnicity. I'm just saying, as black people, y'all need to work on actually being more compassionate about other people with mental health. Y'all need to definitely be, because sure enough, when things happen to us, it's like we attune, turn ourselves off, and like to watch people crash and burn. Welcome to the night. Um,
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm
Yeah,
trying
man.
to
This
have
is
this. Go ahead, bro.
go ahead. No,
No,
no.
no,
This
go
is
ahead, bro.
like this is serious. This is like that's why I said like BFT, like the service you provide actually is like mental therapy and help for a lot of people because a lot of these channels in this little algorithm that we notice are actually kind of like little conduits for people to kind of do their venting. And some of these folks, no matter how crazy and stupid it sounds, uh, if they didn't have the venting little mechanism, then a lot of times, we might see even more suicides or something like that. Or, you know, we got people doing these, what they do, they hurt their family and then they kill themselves and stuff. So all of these things that we're seeing, like you said, it's like people just making these snap judgments of, okay, it's because the parent wasn't in the home, or it's because they just come up with anything. They don't know what the hell is happening in people's life. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
People, we don't know what the hell's happening in people's life. We out here a lot of times. I mean, we're not even careful. Like, of course, we don't know, no, but even when we like analyze the situation, sometimes we're like, we just come up with something like when people analyze somebody, like you said, like Kanye or Will Smith and them, bro. These people are fighting some stuff on levels that most of us don't really get because they're subject to pressures. Some of them had to do certain things we don't know, and yeah, this is really unfortunate. Like you said, with somebody like Regina King, we remember her from early on. She grew up relatively successful. She grew up kind of successful. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was from what from teenage age. She was a child actor,
Yeah.
and she kind of kept her humanity, but also she kind of kept in the business in a respectable way.
Right.
So it's like, and then of course she had the son, and every time I see her talk about her son, it's like she just talk about how much she loves him, how much attention she gives. She's taking him somewhere, taking him this way, and that's very surprising to me. It's like you said, it's something that we don't see, but it's like we it's very surprising that you know that's real surprising, and sometimes we don't need to know yet. Like
Right.
when stuff happens, like it's not for public to know all the details and everything, but it's for
I
us to
agree.
just, like you said, understand.
Right. I agree. I agree. Brother Mike. Sometimes, you know, some things you got to just hold back from the masses, and it has to be closed door conversations with just the immediate family. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I put out there on Facebook, hey y'all, say a prayer for the King family. You know what I'm saying? Or just give them some word of encouragement. I had somebody in the chat. Well, I'm not a spiritual or any kind of thing like that. Did he have some kind of mental? I'm like, why put that even in the chat? Why? Y'all want to know all about their medical stuff. That's not if you can't give no words of encouragement, why get up in the congregation and say anything? Just hold your peace. You know, like we like to know the chinks of why people are fragile or weak, rather than just say they just need help. If I know y'all need help, reach out to me, bro. I gotta give a shout out to I gotta give Grinder his flowers. He always emails me, says, "How you doing, brother? Are you hanging in there?"
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? We take that for granted. That one person that might give you a phone call and just check on you. Y'all remember how it was? You had that one elderly person. How you doing, baby? I'm just seeing if you okay. If you hanging. My mind was running on you. See, we don't get that like that anymore. How often do y'all call y'all mom or father or somebody, a relative, and just reach out to them and say, hey, how you hanging in there? See, nowadays, you'll see them get on Facebook. Yo, man, like my day was this and that. They'll put out all their energy into Facebook. And people, they love the chats. I always tell y'all, whatever you're going through, stay away from social media.
mm,
Stay away from that. The world is a very evil place. And they devour. See, so when y'all hear people jump online and they put that into the energy of the world, see, the world has no problem giving you that Coke, has no problem giving you that liquor bottle, has no problem giving you whatever
yep.
substance you need to keep having you come back. So then when y'all have an issue, saying to the guys who asked me the question, when y'all have an issue with one woman, and then they give you that dopamine of anger to be have that vitriol towards people, towards another gender, a community, a society. They got you. They're not fixing your
Mm,
problem. They're doping you up more into your problem. Mike will try to talk you down off the cliff. Grinder will try to bring you back into the fold. But you have it where some people want to just see you burn and see, can I get them to jump off the cliff? What's going on, Grinder?
I'm fine, brother. This is sorry for the condolences to Regina son. And this is very important because I know that when I suffered loss of my late oldest brother, my late second oldest brother in August, it was this matter of time I was down. So I take a little break. But at the same time, I need somebody to talk to because me and my second oldest brother, we was very close. Anything that I do, and he was always behind my back, my vision, wherever it is. And to lose that piece of you, it takes time. And so when you don't talk to anybody of a certain specific time, yes, you're gonna be depressed. You don't want nobody to know what you are because you don't want to get clowned on. And
Mm,
that's the problem of our community.
mm,
We don't have no empathy for each other, especially us as men. There's a generation gap between older men and younger men in our community too, and in the whole community too. But I address in men. So that's why you find a lot of us throughout the years had died of broken hearts. But who they gonna speak to?
Mm.
Who they gonna rely on? Especially if the family was not there that they should. So they died of broken hearts. I had friends in New York had died of broken hearts. I try to be there the best way I can, and but at the same time they joke around that everything is fine, and then we don't help each other as we should. We know certain people in the space, we help them. But what about others? If you have like a little spat, let's talk about it. Then let's see what's up. And then if we cannot see eye to eye, at least we can be cordial. We don't even want to do that. So when I reach out to you, brother BMT, it's all about concern. It's all about genuine. Because at the end of the day, you my brother. Even like maybe we try to disagree certain days. At the end of the day, you are my brother, and it doesn't make a difference. I want the best. I want the best for you. I want the best for Mike. I want the best for anybody. Any brother that has something against me in the space. I want the best for y'all. I will pray for y'all. It doesn't mean I'm gonna be around y'all, but I want the best. It goes to anybody in the space. That's where I'm coming from. I fall back.
mm.
No, no, I deeply do appreciate, like I said, I think that's why I let certain brothers rock. Like I don't feel like Mike will tell you I'll leave my show and go off do other things and let Mike run the show because I know he's going to be a balance. Yes, and that does happen a lot. I remember um, when I know I had a few family they do get SSDI, and we used to call them the crazy checks or the crazy people because they had certain stuff. So I would see how when we would treat them like outcasts, when we would say certain stuff to them, they would get frustrated, want to quit school, want to quit coming around,
Mm,
want to quit being, not want to actually fellowship or be around us. And you know what happened? The world will adopt what you throw away.
mm-hmm.
But you might not like what you get when they come back to your porch. And see, that's the thing about it.
Yeah,
We gotta get better at bringing in. And see, I know y'all ain't gonna shame me. Ain't none of y'all people who ever can come at me or tell me different. See, when we shun out the people, then we see it on the news. Oh, look at that person. Look at them. They started shooting. They started going crazy. They started doing this. They started doing that. They started running down the street naked. There's
mm,
always the calm before the storm. Just like the weatherman can tell the forecast, most of the
right.
time, somebody already see the forecast of that person. And you got
Mm.
to start, we got to start getting the prep to get bring these people in from the storm.
Yeah, my thing is this, you know, it's like this here. The culture is supposed to help protect the members.
Mhm.
And I would like us to get in the habit of making distinctions between like the dysfunctional type of behaviors and the greater proper or better behaviors. And what I mean is like I don't like this. I mean, I know we do certain things that's negative, but I would like people who do this. You see what I'm saying? Because when we make a distinction, then what it does, it isolates the behavior, and people can change their behavior, but and they can decide to get into the greater good. You know what I mean? Because really now I'm just looking at analyzing the services like BMT. I noticed BMT. He sometimes he'll get fed up with us, you know, and our stupidness and stuff that he sees in these spaces. And he'd be like, "Man, I'm done with y'all. I'm just done with this whole damn, you know." And then he'll leave for a while, you know, regenerate, and then come back. And I believe, and some of all of us do that. I've, you know, done some of that too because I'll do my because I got my science channel where I just do something different. But what it is it's you keep getting drawn back to because you see a need there. You have what the brother says empathy, and I think empathy for each other have been kind of trained out of us because if I empathize with you, now I feel compelled to do something to help you. And maybe in the past, every time I tried to help someone, I got burned. So as a protection mechanism or something, maybe we just dehumanize them so that we don't feel the need to go out there and assist because sometimes you can be deceived by your empathy. You know, somebody can trick you, you know, give you a sob story. Yeah, man, I got, you know, came across some bad luck and yada yada, this and that. I just need a couple dollars to get on my feet. And you give them some money, and next thing you know, they get into a BMW or whatever, and they just lied to you. So because we see stuff like that, then we blanket statement everybody instead of trying to isolate those who with these type of criminal, lying, deceptive behaviors. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm looking at because we got people out here, like you said, in this space. They legitimately are venting their experiences. It sounds crazy, but by them venting it, now people who understand a little bit or have empathy for them can probably talk to them, address it, keep them, and maybe show some concern and maybe get them to make different decisions. But then you got some people out here literally for money or literally to harm because like BMT said, when you reject, you know, you may reject uh, a member or make fun of them, and then what happens is they want to just burn the community down. They just want to
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, they want to burn the community down. Go ahead.
And I think, and that's the thing about it that I always, I'm very protective when I start hearing certain people come on panels or my panel. I can only control my panel. I always, when I start hearing them say certain things, I take it as my job as a
Hmm.
host. When I start hearing them start to go off the cliff, whoa, 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 whoa. Some of y'all see me do. I'll click them down because you might say something that the world doesn't need to hear. It needs to be said behind closed doors. We need to actually just bring you in. And sadly enough, we don't pull in people as we should, man. This is why you see such vitriol. This is why you seeing people take themselves out. This is why you see rappers and artists and people in certain positions that they're not. Now here's the interesting thing. The poor don't take their lives like
Mm.
you see the ones who have the money, the
Hmm.
access, the notoriety,
Yep,
they take themselves out.
that's interesting.
But I noticed the one, and this isn't why yeah, I don't see Pookie taking himself out. He might
Not
live a
like that.
regular
Yep.
life, but I'm just saying the people I know that are in some worse off situations, they don't take themselves out like that. Now that's interesting. The higher tier ones that people are trying to get to have no problem jumping off. Have no problem.
Let me ask you this, BNT.
Doing.
What's worse? Think about this. If you was born poor, let's say you was born poor, you had a ratchet situation, you grew up, you start working, I don't know, you was working at the little DVD packing place.
Mhm.
You was barely getting by on your rent, you paying for a room somewhere in your homeboy's basement or a garage or something. All of a sudden you win the lottery. And you get $100 million. Now, and 5 years later, you're damn near back at the DVD packet place. You got famous. Everybody knows that you got this money. You was rich. You know what I'm saying? I think that's probably when people know you or you even yourself know that you had the world at your fingertips. And maybe you're hard on yourself because you feel like maybe you were dumb enough to lose it. And
It,
then like the other brother said, the teasing, the vitriol, the even the anticipation of the kind of ridicule that you're going to face going back among the hood or whatever, that right there may push people over the edge.
I like what Amanika. Shout out to Amanika. I love you, there. A lot, and I agree with that. A lot of well-off people are mentally soft. We like to
Mm,
believe that they are, versus people who are born in hardened conditions. Okay, I grew up on oatmeal, powdered milk,
mm-hmm.
King vitamin cereal,
Yeah.
government cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all brothers know what I'm talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in the. Listen, I'm not ashamed. See,
That
I'm not
that
ashamed.
white and that white and black peanut
Listen.
butter.
I grew up in the. I grew up at the end of the crackberry. I grew up at the end of the crack baby era. So watching the world how it goes now, for a lot of people, how they started taking themselves out. It was Wednesday for me, baby. My loved one is gone. What are you talking about? I go to school, come back. Everybody in the house is gone. Everybody got put in the paddy wagon. But see, I was mentally engineered and designed by that.
Mm,
That's why. That's why. Paul Mooney wasn't joking when he told y'all, "Listen, black people from the hardship back in the days, they were something different. You can't shit on me when I've already been shitted on by God Himself.
mm.
When I'm already at the bottom, baby, everything else from going on up, I take it as a blessing. Oh, right, y'all, $300 came in the mail. Nowadays, y'all freak out over goddamn. Oh shit! I spent $300 on a girl, but you rich.
Yeah, y'all remember that peanut butter that used to come inside a can? It was just like a
Yep.
can. It had just
Yep.
white and black
And
That government peanut butter.
sometimes used to,
government
Damn
peanut
right, boy.
butter.
right.
I don't know.
Sometimes used to come with
It
sometimes used to
won't.
come with different flavors of jelly if you
Hell yeah,
good.
then some of it was crunchy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Listen,
I
y'all.
remember that that
But
damn
you
block
but you
cheese that was gray.
No, but I do want to say this, brother BMT,
Powder
and I
head.
think that we got to talk about. Matter of fact, you did brought it up 2 years ago. Maybe you don't remember. It's the stigma. Sometimes that when we give ourselves to help people, and we talk about our life experience, and we just let it listen. I understand this is that's what I went through, but you don't have to go through that. I got some
Right.
resources that could help you. Instead of understanding that person is giving themselves a day life experience to help you, if they think about the stigma, And sometimes that stigma could make a person be depressed, especially us as
Hmm.
brothers. And I think that, and I feel that that's another thing that we have to, you did talk about 2 years ago, and I appreciate, I'm giving you a rose like you give me roses. I appreciate that we don't talk about the depression of the stigma. And that's why you find a lot of people do not want to talk about their life experience now, because I'm gonna get clowned on,
Yep.
or they going through certain things. Like for me, I'm not afraid of. I was in special education, but I knew how the system worked for the young black boy. But there are some people say, "Oh, you retarded. Look at you. You should have let it go." But at the same time, I'm giving you a free game and tell you how the system works. So when you see certain things going on right now, you will know what to do with. But people accept take that as a stick. Oh, he's retarded, or he don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to understand the difference of a person get clowned on or have a stigma. And part of that also you could be a person could be depressed of too. I just want to put it out there, and I just want to thank you for talking about that 2 years ago, brother BMT.
No problem. Listen,
Right, and
bro.
two, and also triggers like BMT put out there. Do you understand? Like most of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, people are who literally study some of this stuff. And there's certain people that we know who study psychology. They know that it's a certain group of people who are triggered by certain key talking points because it's very hurtful in their life. And if you just take a position on that trigger, you literally for money, you might not even believe in it, but you're gonna get a lot of views for it. They put these triggers out here, especially with male female interactions. A lot of men are triggered by the child support. It's a source of pain. A lot of females are triggered about I don't know what men not protecting them or father issues or something like that. So they just keep hammering on that. They keep hammering on that, and it's just for their personal development. They don't really necessarily. They might believe it, maybe not. They don't. But this right here, that's the reason why I said like BMT, the way you called it out earlier, and you made that distinction with the person put the comment in the chat.
Right.
There's some people that are literally pushing buttons. Like if I study you and you talk, especially if you in a relationship or something like that, the woman can do this and the man can do this. I study you, I know your history, I know your life and everything, and I know, oh, this happened to you when you was 12 years old, your father left you and you got real mad. So all I got to do now is just keep bringing that up, or I could do something similar that's going to trigger you.
Mhm.
You're going to lose your mind. You might lose your damn mind. Or I know that, maybe I don't know, maybe your mama took you from your daddy and you was mad at your mama for that. So I can threaten that I'm gonna repeat that situation with your child. And of course you're gonna try to run away from that. You see, so there's certain people who just you got to be careful with some nefarious type of people, and
Right.
they're using these triggers. But at the same time, we got to try to uh, reduce the energy on these triggers because we can't let ourselves be manipulated by them triggers, because those triggers are just trauma, but that can kind of get released. It's just because it happened in the past, you know, it doesn't actually have to repeat itself. And that's why I said it's very important that people have outlets to express themselves, and then but also people who empathize, who are not literally everybody can't be out there just trying to exploit their triggers, you know.
Mhm.
That's a big deal.
No, like one of the things about it, and this is what like I said, and I want you to understand this, y'all. We have to learn the difference between mental illness and breakdowns versus complaining and purposely starting fires.
Right.
When you're hearing somebody having erratic, and this is why, like, I don't mind talking about my issues of being abused, different stuff. We talked about abuse on my panel. Mike's been here, Grinder's been here.
Hmm.
We talked about the different deprivations of traumas that goes on in the household, around the community, at schools, at jobs. These things, we talk about them, but we also try to give solutions. Now, when I tell y'all brothers, hey, y'all gonna have to be strong. Y'all gonna have to get through
Hmm.
this. I'm never not gonna tell y'all something I wouldn't tell my brother, my son, my cousin, of somebody I hold shoulder and shoulder with. You understand me? So when I hear you just attacking people, okay? I had a family member. He had vitriol about something, okay? That was him being angry. He was an angry person. Versus we had another cousin. He had a mental issue. So he wasn't always there. So when he would act a certain way in the streets, go get JoJo, go get Simpson, go get Joe, go get one of the men, go get his mama. You see what I'm saying? When he
Right,
started
right,
when he started rambling, when he started going on the tangent, we would bring him back in. Come on, come on. We'll cook you some soup, some
mm,
saltine crackers. Come on, hey, this
right.
show's coming on. Soul Train's coming on.
Just
Come on,
like Incredible Hump. There's
right.
certain certain people know how to calm them down.
So we knew, and everybody in the community, when they start seeing them get a certain type of way after a while, they started.
Mm,
So even to some of the dudes, y'all want to call it pookies, I guess. When they start seeing them
mm,
get a certain type of way at the chess table or the dice table or anything like that, hey,
Mhm.
chill out. You know why they'll do that? Because we all were on one accord to know he wasn't attacking. He was going having his breakdown. So you know what they
mm-hmm.
did? And I kid you not, the fellas in the basketball court put him in a car and drove him down the street to the barbershop to our cousin. Say, hey man, we got him, you know what I'm saying? He was getting wild. They about to call the police on him, but we brought him down here. You see
Mhm.
how that activated?
See, just like that,
Yeah.
Yep.
They could have done anything to him, but we already know everybody from Dorchester Avenue all the way to Franklin Park Zoo already knew, because we already knew that, hey, versus the one who just liked being about the shits. Hey man, get the fuck on, bro. Get on. The one that we knew had that issue, he wasn't bad. It's just that certain people. Now, if the kids or certain people will try to trigger him, we will cut it out. Like, hey, y'all chill that out, bro. Stop.
Mhm.
We know what y'all doing. He wasn't,
Hmm.
and mind you, he had a job. The brother had a job. He worked at two stores. Like one of the hardest brothers y'all ever meet. Worked at two stores. He walked to work. I think they got him a bicycle at the job. They bought him a bicycle. The only time he couldn't get that, we probably gave him a ride to work. But other than that, go on, push. We have an adult conversation. It's okay. Thank you for checking on me. Like my family checks on me. I'm gonna explain it. I'll put me out there. I grew up in a time where black boys were not taught to share their feelings.
Mhm. I
We
know.
were told tuck it in, push
Mhm.
on. If you were abused, push. If you
Yep.
were offended, push. If you were
Yep.
neglected, push,
Yep.
push, 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 push. See, y'all, this is a golden era for y'all. Y'all can express openly and get the help. That wasn't back then like that in the 70s and the 80s like that for me, Mike, and Grinder. It wasn't like
It
that for us.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. Nope.
That
Mm-mm.
was actually more so looked down upon and frowned on. Why you talk like so?
Laughed at.
So y'all talk about, oh, back in the day, them men, they they were strong men. No, they didn't have nobody they could go
Pretending.
to.
It wasn't no
They were
outlet or nothing.
pretending.
It wasn't no
Hmm.
outlet or nothing. And also, brother BMT, I'm glad you did bring up because I talk about this on my channel, some of the men's channel. I talk about the history, like you broke it down. I talk about the same thing, but in a different way. I said we ain't had no outlets, or none. Our
Right.
fathers didn't have no outlets. You hear what I'm saying? You just tuck it in, tuck it in. So to understand this right now, that what brother BMT and brother Mike is saying right now, y'all don't have to listen to me. I really don't care, but listen to them two to understand there are brothers out there that is willing to talk, but listen to the history, understand the behavior. You hear what I'm saying? And understand the history. We ain't had no outlet. I was born in the 60s. I was born in 66.
Hmm.
What? It wasn't nothing. It was not. It was what? You crying for what? What? You
You
got a
weak.
scab? You hurt? You sprain your ankle? What? Better be quiet.
Mm.
You were taught.
Be quiet. And that's
You were.
actually, think about that in class. You're
Mhm.
always told to be quiet. The
Mm-hmm.
good people are quiet.
We were
See?
taught, and I'm gonna say this: how my mom told me, you were taught not to be human.
Mm.
So now that trait of not being human, of not properly getting out, there's a reason why a lot of the men died faster than the women
Mm.
because they never taught, never properly got it off their chest.
Mm-hmm.
The more you keep it on your chest, the more stress you keep on.
Yeah.
The more stress you keep on about the bills, the mortgage, getting the kids fed, making sure the listen, bro. I've had some anxiety attacks. There's a reason why my people listen. Just because I got a kingdom, don't mean the kingdom don't mean the king don't goddamn be having
Yeah,
issues.
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
Just because listen, y'all don't think all this around me. Don't think that daddy don't be sitting in the room in the dark, be at that table, be staring at the goddamn bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all talk about
Heck yeah.
protection. Guess what? You don't think the battle armor don't get heavy on us? Y'all don't think we don't got to take it off? But see, when we talk about that, some people thinking that we being weak or we bitch. No, man.
See?
I'm just actually being human. I want to just speak my thoughts. I'm not on the attack. I'm just being honest about how I don't like how the way you deal with Grinder, with Mike, with
Hmm.
me. And so when I say that, that's why y'all can't ever say there's any contention that come from us three.
Hmm.
Y'all can't ever say that. This is why so many people feel at ease with the spirit when they can talk with us. Because they know, like, well, BMT, the community, you know why? Because the ones on the outside and inside can still sit down with certain men and will listen. But then the question is, will y'all listen to us when we're actually telling y'all something that is hurting? Everybody wants the stoic black man or the stoic man. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't come with a price. It doesn't come with a price.
Right.
And this is the issue. Like I said, Regina King and her husband, Alexander Sr., lost their only child.
Mm.
I don't think Regina gonna just jump back on that studio in that studio set.
Nope.
Don't think
That's
that
depression right there.
don't think her husband is gonna want to get back in the studio. See, these are two high octane individuals that they all they would do taught were just to work for
Mm-hmm.
success.
Mm.
But they were never taught how to see. We were all, to be honest, God damn it, I either got to throw that grinder or mic. See, I can't do all this in one day. A
Mm.
lot of black people, we were trained to work, but not how to maintain a viable family. Daddy was never
Slaves.
Mm-hmm.
daddy was
That's
never
meant to see. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Go ahead. Keep going.
daddy was never home. Mama was always working. So when y'all talking about the housewife or daddy was the hard worker, y'all don't know what. They were trained to be the best slaves that they can be.
But even American culture, though, if you look at it, even now, of course, we definitely, so definitely Black Americans. But if you even look at just Americans, just white, Mexican, everybody, work, productivity. What's the productivity outlook? What is produce? It's like get to work 40 hours a week. Go ahead, go. You know what I'm saying? It's like go. You must work, man. And if and when we're talking about work, we're talking about manual labor, hours, just you can't bring your kids there. In the past, before all extra work, you would your son, your children would see the majesty of daddy use his skill to solve problems in the world, to create products or to grow food or whatever, build a house or whatever dad does.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would you would literally be able to bring your children with you, showing them, teaching them as you exercise your skill. But today it's like they do something separately, and then you're doing something, you're performing, you're providing, but they don't make the connection. And so are they listening to you? Are they really learning from you? Because the kids learn but by your actions too.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me ask y'all the question here. Now, you know how I was saying like the men didn't really have an outlet, let's say back in the 60s, 70s, or whatever. But I'm gonna ask y'all this. Was the like the side woman, it was that the outlet? Like, you may have a family, a wife, or what have you, but was hanging out with your boys, playing pool, was drugs, was your friends drinking, or maybe like the woman that you would your
Yeah.
side piece. Was that the outlet? And,
Yes. Yes, it was
that you could really pour your heart
because
to.
right because in the aspect, daddy always had to be that strong man. Granddaddy always had to be that solid rock.
The silent one.
So I can't afford to see Granddaddy Grinder express, because when you're expressing yourself, you're letting down your guard and you're letting people in. A lot of boys from the 60s, 70s, and 80s never seen elderly older black men properly express themselves and
I
they
never
held
seen
it.
it.
True.
I never seen it because even like my late mother's father, he passed away 72. I was 6. I never see him really like express himself.
We never
My, my
I
late, I
right, go
never
ahead.
did. And then even, yeah, I never did. Never.
Mike,
And I was little. I remember. I was little. I remember that.
did you ever see it, Mike? Did you ever see
No,
it?
I mean, I see my father. I'll tell you a story here. I s- the only time I see my father express himself because my mom and dad, they used to fight in the house and stuff. And he used to never take me with him. I used to always want to go with him. He was a musician. He used to play in Anita Baker's band. He was always in Shrine of Black Madonna Church. I'm from a Black Power type circle family. Okay, so even my parents, both of them, and but he used to be out there cheating on my mama, right? So I didn't know this when I was little. I was like, "Can I go?" Yada yada. Of course, no, boy, stay home. Yada yada. Stay home. I'm like, damn, I ain't gonna do my kids like that. I literally made a promise to myself when I was like 6 and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And later on, as I was older, so I'm like 17. Me and my cousin, we used to always have to sneak because he wouldn't tell us nothing. No, like you said, no expression. Supposed to be strong, powerful man. My mom and him divorced already, but he used to have little hookers in the neighborhood that he used to have sex with and stuff. And we used to sneak in his little. I guess we had to sneak in his little room to get because he used to have all his Now we wasn't looking for those videos, but we was looking for the regular movies. But we sat up here and seen one of his videos that he had with one of his hookers. And we was like, I was embarrassed, even though that's my cousin. And of course, we grew up together completely. I don't even remember meeting my cousin, but I was literally embarrassed that this is my father. But he was telling this woman all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, my cousin said he probably did your mama like that. He was clowning me. And I was just like, damn, this is what it is. They sitting up here, I guess, these women from the neighborhood telling them all sorts of incriminate, and this is the reason why the hookers, I guess, they get the the exclusive scoop on the men. They get to see all the stuff that the dude is not going to tell his family. Because so this is what I think, that's what it is. So that's part of my experience. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's definitely a thing. And I know I'm gonna have to set. Y'all make sure some of y'all write down these shows, man. Y'all don't know. Like we be talking on gold mine gems that people would love to hear actually spoken about. Um, because y'all gotta understand, like this is why when we hear this back then, Papa was a Rolling Stone. He had two families because
Yeah.
he didn't properly express himself with the first family. So
Yep.
like him doing a redo with the second family, and then the second family knew that damn. Well, are we getting the same energy like the first family? But
See,
we're seeing the other side of him. So
Mhm.
then y'all like, well, damn, I didn't know Daddy did that. Or Daddy did this.
Venus, Serena Williams, the Williams daddy. That's right there. Yep.
He put a lot of energy into getting his children and everybody. Like I said, look at a lot of the men that push their family into a level past another generational level of success.
Mhm.
But then you find out they had another family.
Hmm.
But the first family made it. And then you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Well, you gotta understand, like, listen, when you're working hard, when do you take a break? When you take a break or when you de-escalate, what do you do?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I don't like I said, I want to keep this on. Like I said, I'm gonna have to
But
definitely
it don't take a long time to tell the truth. That's another thing too. A lot of times, like you said, we express ourselves and stuff, but a lot of times you just put the truth out there, and that's kind of therapeutic. It can be if you're in
it
a spot
it
where it's
can
safe,
be.
whereas you're not. Yeah,
See, I want to
it
have this
can
talk.
be.
I want to have this men's talk about this. This would have to be a men's talk. And I would have to
Right.
reach out to you, me, Grinder, grab some men. And see, the thing about it is,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna do a show called Daddy Don't Get Paid to Tell the Truth.
Dang.
Because
Write that down. That's deep. That's deep.
I better write that down.
Mm.
You know, that's,
Yeah, and also brother BNT, brother BNT, I want to say this too, and I know you see it, and brother May, you see this too. When I was coming up, I see grown men be sitting on their porch, on their stairs
Hmm.
for hours. They don't say nothing. They still serve the community. They say, "You all right?" I say, "You all right, Miss So?" I'm all right. You want me to get you something? No, yeah, I don't need nothing. You just do what you got to do. Just listen to your parents and stuff. But when I was
Hmm.
growing up, when I got older, he was going through a lot.
Right.
And I'm saying sit on the stairs for hours, sit on the porch for hours in the same spot.
See.
Still give it to community. Still give. But what about him?
we watch them fade and die out. We watch them burn. We watch them burn out.
And
I
it
think that's
hurt. And I'm
I'm.
saying by talking about it right now, and I'm being honest with you, this like hurts. Like I could
Mm.
help him, but I was little at the time. I ain't know. And I talked to my mom. I remember my late father. He used to get in the car and drive, park
Hmm.
his car at the same, like park his car and stay there for extra hours. And I see the
Yep.
time after time. Be like, I be looking like, yo, dad, me and my father never really have a close relationship because the way he was coming up, and I explained it already. But I'm saying like, I used to look like, yeah, boy, I'm alright. I appreciate that. And I mean, listen to music because music at that time, listen to jazz. That was the only outlet they had.
Yep.
Listen to gospel. That's the only outlet. Anything that talks to the soul. That's all they had.
Yep.
Like I said,
Emasculation. They had to be demasculated sometimes, and especially with work and different things like that. You're right.
so I'm definitely going to set up my next show
Mhm.
um, to have the conversation with the men on this one. Daddy don't get paid to tell the truth. And,
Yeah, that's gonna be
because
tough.
again, I would honestly tell you, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know about you, my daddy. Y'all ain't know shit. Y'all really don't know what a lot of men took with them to the grave, how much stress
Right.
they kept inside, how much pain, heartache, how much times they've been emasculated and devoid of their humanity, being a human. I know, but I'm a man.
Yep.
My sons and my children and my people will never truly know how much scars I take a damn day. All they know is damn. I don't know something. There's just something about when I look at y'all eyes. But we can't, as men, we're trained not to feel. We're not trained. And the ones who let it all out, we all looking at them like, what the fuck wrong with you? Why is he
You,
malfunctioning?
Yeah.
it's like we just it's like this, brother. BT, and it came to my mind. I want to share it with you. It's like you a stone, but it doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Mhm. You know, honestly, some days I don't want to be. Some days I don't like this room. Some days I want to stop. And I mean, one time my dad had just called me. He said, "I don't know why, son. I think I got on Facebook and I just started ranting." And he told me, "You said you take that shit down." I said, "But I want to take that shit down." I took it down within 5 minutes. And he said, "Don't you ever do that." And he said, "You suffer in silence."
Mm.
I said, "What? What?" He said, "My daddy told me you suffer in silence, boy. You don't ever let them see you sweat. You don't ever let them see you cry." He said, "I had to do it. Your granddad had to do it. Yours had to do it. So you do it too.
Mhm.
So for them to live, I'll die quietly."
Mm.
I accept that.
Dang.
I accept that. See, a
You
lot of
know,
that. I think that's why a lot of men. I'm gonna tell y'all why a lot of y'all men that watch my channel. I'm gonna tell you that's why y'all afraid of being that man in my position because you have to take that cyanide suffrage pill and you have to just let it trickle into your vein. They'll live while they pump it out of you. You die slowly. And
Damn.
a lot of people don't want that work. No,
Mm.
I thank you for that. I thank you for that, Amanika. I love you. I love you.
it's
But see, the
like
thing about it is, for them to live, I gotta sacrifice daily. There's times where I want to take my money, go out and live. But
Right.
see, I have before I do that, what do y'all need? What do you 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 need? That's the first thing that has to leave out my mouth. When y'all talk about submission, my will is submitted to the household's will, to what
Right.
they need before my needs.
yeah,
When y'all
yeah.
say who eats first, my children, everybody in the house will eat before I eat. If they were to give me a plate at a function, whether it be at the mosque, the church, a festival, wherever it is. I've had it where my daughter and she'll grab another child and they get on my lap and start eating off my damn plate. And a woman walk, no, no, kids, that's for that. Y'all got your own plate. They say, we know. This is my daddy's plate. Now, why would they have the mentality to eat off my plate before me? Because they're like, what he gets, it's ours.
Right.
And I train them to think like that because what I get, I do unto for them, so that way they may thrive. I'm not afraid. I understand my assignment. I'm to die honorably. Like there's no shame in this. There's no shame
But
in
this
what
is the
grinding.
Jesus mentality. This is the Jesus mindset because this is what it's for. If you think about what you're saying, that's the lesson of Jesus because like if you look at this pattern, there's some people who don't know that they need and they don't appreciate a sacrifice. But for these folks to survive and live, this one must go through the what you call that the torment or the suffering for a period of time, and then later on they get recognized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And also being single too, I let brothers know that there's a whole lot you have to deal with too. Paying bills, file health insurance, file life insurance. You don't, especially if you don't have that significant one live with you, or you're not with that significant one. That is a lot on you. But I'm just saying, brothers that are single, seek help, please.
Yeah,
Seek help
I ain't gonna lie.
and to understand this, like Brother BMT said, that stay in silence. Make sure you be controlled and stay in silence. You cannot let everybody know what you're going through. You can't let everybody know
Right,
because the strike is on us already. And so I urge brothers that if you need somebody to talk to, reach out. Be selective now.
right, right.
Be
You got to go to
selective.
the right spot.
Reach out to these brothers right here. You can reach out to me.
Yep. You could come on my page. You can reach out. That's what I said.
Reach
Like
out.
this is the reason
But,
why you make
but
yourself available to
yeah,
people
but
when
the
you
under,
you know.
but I had to reemphasize that what Brother BT says, that you have to understand the history. If you don't know the history, how we going through, you don't know how to deal with things right now in the present. You have to know the history of us as men have to go through, and still to this time we still have to go through. They didn't have that back then. They ain't had no technology. Some of them ain't had no TV. Only they have is their family. They couldn't talk to nobody. I can imagine back in the slavery times and going to the 1900s how our men had to overcome. You find World War I, World War II come back, still being still being disfranchised as a human being. But you still got, they still want you to serve. They want, you got to still provide for your family, and you got to go do a job that you don't even like, but it pay okay to put your kids through school.
See?
But what about me? What about me? And that's why a lot of us had died the younger. Like my late father passed away even before 62, family. That's over 30 years ago. Listen what I'm saying. My late father passed away even before 62. He didn't even see me turn 23. And I'll be 56 this
Mm,
year. Think about that, family. Think about it.
Well, you guys, we like
yeah.
to thank you guys. We
Thank
like
you.
to
I
thank you guys
appreciate
for
you.
coming through. I know, like I said, I know it's getting good. It's always like that when you have good brothers you could sit down with at the chess table and just actually dialogue. This is actually how functional men talk. It's how functional men talk. I don't we don't waste our breath on just whimsical nonsense, but talk about something that y'all can take and pull from the beginning all the way to the end. And so like I said, I did write it down, and I will be in the back chat, getting in touch
Yeah,
with other brothers
I'll go
about
ahead
this.
and I get some real life experiences for that because I got some stuff for that one.
Yeah, me too. I
And like
got
I
you. I
said, I
got
think we do thank y'all. We thank everyone who came in the chat. Y'all, please make sure y'all go over to the number one grinder. He has an amazing channel as well as Super Mike. Please go over to these brothers' shows. I enjoy sitting in, watching them. I sometimes I don't get to always get the fellowship like I want to, but these brothers always know they have access to break bread with me. I know this is not a great topic for everybody to want to talk about. Y'all want the nitty gritty, but literally, this is one of the most dire poisons that is literally killing off a lot of men and women and children.
Share it.
Y'all,
Yeah, you're getting a little you're getting the activity on Twitter too. So
thank
you
you.
gotta start going
So,
over there looking at them.
like I said, we definitely want y'all, please, y'all, send y'all love to the King family and the Alexander Senior family, well, all of them. I'm pretty sure right now those two are hurting really badly. Regina King is a highly accomplished woman that has done a lot, has done a lot. I think she just did a
Yes.
movie, one of the first all black cowboy
Yes.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now mind you, they could have got a bigger check than that. They chose to
Yeah.
do that to break ground for other
For the
people to come out
culture.
of there.
And that was good.
And so they did that. They have a lot more other stuff, but with her losing her child, we don't know how
Mm.
that's going to affect her or her ex-husband. Mind you, y'all don't know certain people in certain people's lives are they're driving chariot to why they do what they do.
Dang.
So with that piece taken from her, we don't know how she's going to keep on thriving. She might be like, you know what, I'm good. I can live
See?
off quietly. Bill Cosby, he was different after he lost his son.
yeah.
Yep.
Remember
That
that? Yeah,
hurt. That
back in the 90s.
Bill Cosby, like,
Didn't he lose a daughter too?
yep. Bill,
Yes.
his like I
Dang,
said.
man.
So you gotta understand, these people who have done a lot of iconic things, we don't think that they're not human when they lose their children or something happens to their children and how they react. Will Smith's daughter saying, "Daddy, I do cuts." Y'all think that's
See?
something that he wanted his
No.
daughter to say before y'all in front of the world? That's probably why he be having mental breakdowns now. Y'all think that was something him seeing the world laughing at his son while he's getting sick? He said people clowned on him because Will Smith runs up and hugs and kisses his son. Oh, he might be some LGBT. No, that's his
Mm.
child. Y'all forget these people are still parents at the end of the day. You may not approve of how they parenting. Eyes of the camera. But then let's put the camera in front of you. How will the world
Yeah.
judge you?
See?
They don't
We
get
already
that.
know how the world likes to. We already know how the world likes portraying certain parenting. Oh yeah, Will Smith has him and Jada have too many goddamn break. I see that's the thing about why people think they're crazy. Because they have the cameras directly on them. So
Mm-hmm.
when people see, oh my God, Jada talk back to Will. Welcome to relationship 101. Women and men talk back
Exactly.
to each other all the time. Oh my God, they had a breakup. People do that all the time. Your daddy probably left the house and was living right down the street. Grinder will tell you, Mike will tell you, daddy left the house. Mom and daddy still married. Daddy just living down the street. But I could promise you,
Yep.
before when you go to bed, daddy was back in that house. Before you
Yeah.
came,
Yep.
while you was going off to school, daddy would drop off the money for that mortgage.
Yep.
There's a
Daddy come
lot that
home from work and just sleep in the car outside in the garage.
there's a lot that people
Just
calm
sit
down,
out
Mike.
there, just
They don't know. They don't know. Everybody like to believe daddy just left. Mommy just went
you
crazy.
know,
She
some of these
no.
guys think you supposed to just some of these guys think that men just come in the house and say, here's the law because of my word, and and that's it. Nah, bro. That ain't no.
There's a lot more. See,
That
don't
woman
worry.
has a power.
Don't worry. See, I
Yeah.
told y'all we put
Yep.
together a whole dynamic team of realistic men that when we tell y'all stuff, we're pulling, just like Grind said, from the past. We're pulling the methodology of why men do what they do from like how Mike said, and we're just telling you why we're grinding. Because this is why I have to live where I gotta live. I'm
Mm-hmm.
BMT, we're grinding Super Mike. We thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Y'all
Finally
take
meet
care.
you, Super Mike. Thank you. Finally meet
Oh
you.
yes, sir, brother. I'm gonna subscribe to you. I'm over there.
Take care, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate
Peace.
that. And just
Keep
part
on.
two.
All right, peace, guys.
Peace, peace. All right. All right, brother BMT. Thank you.